Okay, welcome back children. Our lesson is the portrait of a lady and we are learning the meaning of difficult words here. So I was explaining you the meaning of bedlam, no? So bedlam, it is, you have understood, no? The meaning, a scene of uproar and confusion. So as this scene is generally found in the home for mad people, this bedlam, it is used as a metaphor for home for mad people. Okay, home for mad people is a bedlam. Okay, so now what happened? You can find the metaphor. So that looked like a bedlam means that place, the place where mad people live. No, that looked like a bedlam. So now it is a metaphor. So to describe, to qualify this metaphor, bedlam, this veritable word is used. It is a word used to give emphasis, importance. Okay. So now afternoon, this grandmother, she used to feed the sparrows, no, for half an hour. So during that time, what was the situation there? It created a bedlam. Means hundreds of sparrows used to come there and they used to chirp. ಅವರು ಏನವರು ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾರೋಸ್ ಗುಬ್ಬಚ್ಚಿ ಏನು ಕೂಗ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಚಿಲಿ ಚಿಲಿ ಪಿಲಿ ಚಿಲಿಪಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಸೊ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಚಿರ್ಪ್ ಓಕೆ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಅ ವೆರಿಟೇಬಲ್ ಬೆಡ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ hundreds of sparrows if they come together in a place what type of uproar and confusion will be there that you have to imagine okay then one more thing few sparrows used to sit on her legs. Perch means what children? To take rest. Okay. What is the meaning of perch? To take rest. Some sparrows used to sit on her legs but she never shooed them. Means what? Push anta ಹೆದರಿಸಿ ಕಳಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅವರನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕುಂಡ್ರಿಸ್ಕೋತಿದ್ರು. So this is what explained in this paragraph. Now what happened? The author started to go to the college, university. That's why he was given a separate room and grandmother accepted this separation, this seclusion with resignation, with patience. So she was sad, but that position was inevitable, no? That's why she accepted. Then what way did she find to spend her time? Okay, so she had to depend upon something emotionally alva avಳ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಕಳಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. That's why what did she do? She started to spend much of her time with the spinning wheel. She used to weave throughout the day and also she used to say the prayers. Then only for half an hour she used to take rest. And during that time she used to feed the sparrows. Hundreds of sparrows came there. Some sparrows perched on her legs but she never shooed them. Push anta ಹೆದರಿಸಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay. In this way grandmother was very friendly with the sparrows. That you can understand, no? When she was living in the village, she loved the dogs. She used to feed the dogs. Now as she cannot feed the dogs in the city, she has started feeding the sparrows here. So the relationship of grandmother with the animals, birds, it was very nice, no? That you can understand by seeing this paragraph. Now let us understand the next paragraph. Yes, see there children. When I decided, paragraph number 8, when I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years and at her age one could never tell. But my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental. She came to leave me at the railway station but did not talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Silently, she kissed my forehead, and when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. Okay. So now what happened? The author has decided, yeah, stop. Now the author has decided to go to abroad for further studies. ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So for a period of 5 years, now he is going to abroad. He could not come back for 5 years. 5 ವರ್ಷದ ತನಕ ಬರೋ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. So he thought that his grandmother would be very much upset. ಈಗ ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಷದ ತನಕ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗನ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಅಜ್ಜಿಗೂ ಮನ್ಸಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಕಳ್ಸಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ he too thought that his grandmother would be very upset. So for her age, he thought that it would be very difficult for her to accept it. But the situation was quite different. Okay, what he thought, no, his grandmother acted completely opposite to that. ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು, she was not even sentimental. She did not cry. She went with his parents to the railway station to say bye bye to him. At that time, what was she doing? She was saying the prayers. She was completely involved in the prayers and she was counting the beads of her rosary. ಆ ಜಪದ ಸರವನ್ನ ಅವಳು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು. She was not at all sentimental. She kissed him silently on the forehead. Okay, so very philosophical children. See, grandmother ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಗೋಡೆಗೆ ಮಣ್ಣು ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಯಾರುಂಟು ಎರವಿನ ಸಂಸಾರ, ನೀರ ಮೇಲಿನ ಗುಳ್ಳೆ ನಿಜವಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿಕೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತುಂಟಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ನಮಗ್ ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾರು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹುಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಒಬ್ರೇನೆ, ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಒಬ್ರೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿಕಲ್ ಇದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, even though she loved her grandson very much, even though she loved her children very much, she never forced them to act according to her wish. ಅವರಿಗೆ ದುಃಖ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿ ಒಂಚೂರು ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು, ನಮಗೆ ನಾನು ನನಗೆ ನಾನೇ, ನನ್ ಏನೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾನೇ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಶಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಹರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. She found her own way to spend her time. She did not depend upon any other for that. ತನ್ನ ಟೈಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅವಳು ಎಂದೂ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. That's why she could accept that separation with resignation. So she got completely involved in her prayers, and she found happiness in feeding the sparrows. So it doesn't mean that she did not love her grandson. She loved him very much, but she was not emotionally dependent upon him to spend her further life. ತನ್ನ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಕಳೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ತನ್ನ ಜೊತೆನೇ ಇರಬೇಕು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಹಠಮಾರಿ ಅಜ್ಜಿಯವರಾಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವನನ್ನ ಬೈಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನೂ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. She did not even express her emotion. She was not at all sentimental. She kissed his forehead. Okay, and at that time also she was saying the prayers. She was completely involved in the prayers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಟೈಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವರು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ತಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಅಜ್ಜಿ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಇದ್ರು ಈ ಆಥರಿನ ಅಜ್ಜಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಥರ್ ವಾಸ್ somewhat emotional, sentimental. He cherished that moist imprint. Means ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ ಫೋರ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಬಂತು, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಆಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿದ್ರು, ಈ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸನ್ ಇದ್ರು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ he was going to be away from his grandmother for 5 years. So he too had emotional attachment with his grandmother. He was very emotionally dependent upon his grandmother. He felt sad while leaving her, and also he thought that he could not see his grandmother again. Enthakenದ್ರೆ already she is an old lady. He is going to abroad for 5 years. ತಾನು 5 ವರ್ಷದ ನಂತರ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರೋದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ತನ್ನ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಅವನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ವೆರಿ ಇಮೋಷನಲಿ ವಾಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅಜ್ಜಿ. ಸೊ ಇದೇ ತಾನು ಅವರನ್ನ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅವಕಾಶನ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಇಮೋಷನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ತುಂಬಾ ದುಃಖದಲ್ಲಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಚೆರಿಶ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಮಾಯಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಫೋರ್ಹೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎವರ್. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಆಸೆ ಈ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸನ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೆಂಟಿಮೆಂಟಲ್, She was not dependent upon him emotionally, but this grandson was dependent upon her emotionally. Okay. Now, next what happens, that let us see. Yes, see here children, but that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were the way with her sparrows, whom she fed longer and with frivolous rebukes. Okay, so now we have to understand the meaning of this frivolous rebukes. Stop sharing. So now children, you have understood, no? So in the childhood, grandson was very much attached to his grandmother. The relationship between grandmother and grandson, how it changed step by step, that we have observed so far, no? So what happened when they went to city, that we have understood. Then what happened when he started to when he started going to an English medium school. Then how the change came in their life when he got a separate room. He started to live in his own room when he was going to the college. What change came there? Then how it completely changed when he went to abroad. So we have understood here up to here, no? Now what happened? He thought that he will not meet his grandmother again when he comes back from the abroad. But it was not like that. Okay, she was alive. Again, when he came back from abroad, no, she went to the railway station to meet him with her son and daughter-in-law. ಹೋದ್ಲು ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು. There also she did not speak any word. Okay, so when she clasped the grandson in her arms, ಯಾವಾಗ ತನ್ನ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗನನ್ನ ಹೀಗೆ ಅಪ್ಪಾಕೊಂಡು ಎದೆಗೆ ತಾಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು, at that time also the grandson, the author could hear her saying what children, reciting what children, prayer. Okay, so ಅವಳ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಅವಳು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೂ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗದೇನೆ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ತೊಂದರೆನೆ ಕೊಡದೇನೆ, she got completely involved in the prayers. So that day also, when the author had come back from the abroad, that day also she did not spend much time with the grandson. At that day, on that day also, her happiest moment was with whom children? It was with the sparrows, who she has fed for a long time with frivolous rebukes. What is the meaning of this frivolous rebuke? So frivolous means not having any serious purpose or value. So frivolous means what children? ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ವಿಚಾರ ಇಲ್ಲದೇನೆಯ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೇನೆಯ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ adjective. Frivolous is an adjective. Rebuke, it is a noun here. Express a sharp disapproval, okay, because of their behavior or attitude. Rebuke ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರನ್ನಾರು ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಈ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಆ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾರೋಸಿಗೆ ಬೈತಾ ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋರು ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಂಗೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾರೋಸಿಗೆ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ತಿನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಟು ದೆಮ್, ನೋ, ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀಯ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾ, ನೀ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೋ, ನೋಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಿನ್ನು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಚ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿ ನೀನು. ಸೊ in this way we complain them. It is not that we are scolding them, ಹೌದಾ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, but it is the way in which we express our love to them, ಹೌದಾ. So here frivolous means not having any serious purpose or value. She was not angry with the sparrows, but she used to criticize them. ನೀನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕತ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಿ ನೀನು, ನೋಡು ನಿನಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಇಲ್ಲುಂಟು, ನಿನಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲುಂಟು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ನೀ ದೂರ ಹೋಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಿ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಅವಳು ಹಕ್ಕಿ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವು. ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸೈಸ್ ದ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾರೋಸ್. Frivolous rebukes. So this is disapproval or criticizing the behavior of the sparrows. And behind that disapproval, there was no serious purpose or value. ಯಾವುದೇ seriousness ಇಲ್ದೇನೆನ ಅವಳು ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. So this is what children frivolous rebuke means. Did you understand? Yes or no? Raise your hands and tell me. Yes. Understood? Yes, Sushrita? Sushrita?
Yes.
Did you understand, Marie? Any doubt up to here?
No doubt, Mataji.
No doubt. Okay, Anudeep? Anudeep, do you have any doubt? Is there Anudeep in the class? Anudeep is not there. Ankit? Is there Ankit in the class? No? Aditya is also not there. Oh, very sad. Abhiram?
Mataji.
Did you understand or do you have any doubt?
No, Mataji, understood.
Okay, nice. Okay, Kritika? Is she there? Okay, Vaishnavi?
Yes, Mataji.
Any doubt, Marie?
No doubts, Mataji.
Shall we go further then?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Next. So now let us go for the next paragraph. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum and started to sing. For several hours, she thumped the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of the warrior. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. That was first time since I had known her that she did not pray. Okay, so there was some change in the grandmother at the evening time of that day. Once you stop sharing, please. So see here, children, two difficult words I have written. One is sagging. Sagging means what, children? To sink or bend downwards because of pressure. And dilapidated means in a state of disrepair as the as a result of age or neglect. So dilapidated means completely destroyed. Okay, it is not in the stage of repairing. It could not be repaired and it reached that age either because of its age, it has become old, or because of neglect. Then sagging means what, children? To sink or bend downward because of pressure. That is sagging. Now, in the evening time, what did she do? For the first time, okay, she stopped praying and she called the neighboring women's there and she brought she asked her son to bring a drum for her. That drum, how was that drum? It was dilapidated. It has reached the stage of what, children? Complete destruction. ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹಾಳಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಮ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬಡಿತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಡ್ರಮ್ ಬಡಿತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಆ ಡ್ರಮ್ಮು ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ರಮ್ ಬಡಿಯೋ ಜಾಗ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ವಾ, ಅದನ್ನ ಟೈಟ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿ, ನೀವು ಸಂಗೀತ ಕಲಿಯುವಂತಹ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ತಬಲಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಟೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಬಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ವಾಟ್, ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸುಮಾರು ಹಾಳಾಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವರು ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಶಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ ದ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಸಾಂಗ್? ಹೋಮ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ವಾರಿಯರ್. ಯುದ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾಗ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಹಾಡು. ಅವಳ ಲೆಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗ ಯುದ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದಂಗೆ. So he had gone to abroad for 5 years. No, according to her, it was a great achievement. So that's why that afternoon she called the women of the street and she sang for many hours. So these people, grandson and his parents, they had to persuade her to stop. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನಿರು ಸಾಕು ನಿನಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ತ್ರಾಸ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಸಾಕು ಹಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಇವರು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ this grandson had never seen her not praying so far. So this was the first time he saw her like that. Okay, now next. Yes, the next morning she was taken ill. It was a mild fever and the doctor told us that it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. We protested, but she ignored our protests. She lay peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face and we knew that she was dead. Okay? See? So very emotional time for the grandson and his parents. So what happened the next day? There was a mild fever for the grandmother. They called the doctor. Doctor said that it is a very mild fever, it would go. But grandmother thought differently. She told that no, only few hours are left. Okay, she is going to die. So far, she has wasted lots of time. Now she is not going to waste any of her time talking to these people and she started praying. They protested, no, you cannot do like this, we have to go to the hospital. But she did not agree at all. Okay, so she lay down peacefully. ಏನು ಚಿಂತೆ ಮಾಡ್ದೇನೆಯ ಅವಳು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಲು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಲು. ಸೊ she has completed all her responsibilities. Her children means her son has settled down in his life. She had got a daughter-in-law, so she too was settled in her life. Now grandson, he is also happy with his life. No, all the aims of her life, all her responsibilities have come to an end. Now she is thinking that no, it's okay. My time is over now. I am going to die, but I would not waste my time. I will pray ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೇಳಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಜ್ಜಿ. Okay, so then what happened? Slowly her lips stopped and the rosary she held in her hand, it fell down and she died. See here, she lay peacefully. I have written few sentences here, children. Lay, lie, lay. 3 words I have written. These are there in V1 form, present tense form. L-I-E, lie. So it has got 2 meanings. See here, he lies always to me means he tells lies. He tells some untrue things to me. ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು lie ಒಂದನೇದು. He lies always to me. Here lie, another word. I will lie on this bed for few minutes. I will lie means I will means horizontal ಆಗಿ ಇದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮಲಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. Okay, I will lie on this bed for few hours, for few minutes. Here lie means what, children? Keeping your body horizontally on the floor or somewhere else. So that is lying, ಮಲಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಬಿದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಬೆನ್ನಡಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು. Then another one is there, that is lay. Okay, here lay means what, children? Unfold the blanket and lay it down on the floor. ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಸು, ಹಾಕು ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಇಡು ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. See, lie, lay. These are the V1 forms. One lie means making untrue statements. Another lie, so lying on the floor, keeping our body horizontally on the floor, that is lying. And then lay ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅನ್ಫೋಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕೆಟ್, ಆ ಚಾಪೆಯನ್ನ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೇ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ V1 form. Then V2 form, past tense form we'll check. Okay, so laid. So laid means she laid the blanket on the floor and lied. He lied to me. Lied, lied. Okay, then another lay. So for this lie is there, no, I will lie on this bed for few minutes. This lie, its past tense form is lay. See, in past tense also, in present tense also, you have lay. In this present tense, it means something else. If it is used in past tense form, it means something else. So this lay is the past tense form of lie. ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಲೈ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಡ್ಡಾಗಿ ಮಲ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಲೈನ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಏನು? ಲೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಐ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಸಿಕ್, ಸೊ ಐ ಲೇ ಡೌನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ದೆನ್ V3 ಫಾರ್ಮ್, LAID, ಲೇಡ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಲೇಡ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಾಂಕೆಟ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಸುವಂತದ್ದು. ಲೇಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೇಡ್ ಏನುಂಟಲ್ಲ, V2 and V3 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಯಾವ ಲೈ ಇದೆ? ಈ ಲೇ ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ, LAY, ಲೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಸುವಂತದ್ದು, ಇಡುವಂತದ್ದು. ಲೇದು V2 ಮತ್ತೆ V3 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಕ್ಕಳು? ಲೇಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೇಡ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಲೈ ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ, ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಲ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತದ್ದು, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು V2 ಫಾರ್ಮು LAY, ಲೇ, ಮತ್ತೆ V3 ಫಾರ್ಮು LAIN, ಲೇನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಲೈ ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರದ್ದು V2 ಮತ್ತೆ V3 ಫಾರ್ಮು ಲೈಡ್ ಅಂತ, LIED. ಸೊ somewhat confusing words. So she lay down. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಈಗ? Any doubt here? You can ask me if you have any doubt. Has anybody got doubt here? No doubt? Shall we go further? Yes. Next, last pair. So here, last paragraph. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. We stopped halfway in the courtyard, all over the veranda and in her room, right up to where she lay dead and stiff wrapped in the red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. There was no chirping. We felt sorry for the birds and my mother fetched some bread for them. She broke it into little crumbs the way my grandmother used to and threw it at them. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse off, they flew away quietly. Next morning, the sweeper swept the bread crumbs into the dustbin. Okay, see here what happened. So she died that day, no? Then it was the time of sunset. And stop here. It was the time of sunset and the sun had lit her room. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ, ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಬೆಳಕು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು, ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಯಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ವರಾಂಡಾದಲ್ಲಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ in her room also. But these people could not go near the corpse. Here corpse means what, children? Dead body or body of the grandmother. So this grandmother's body, it was covered by a shroud. Shroud means white or red colored clothing which is used to wrap the body, dead body. Dead body ಅನ್ನ ಸುತ್ತಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ವೈಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರಿನ ಕ್ಲೋದಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? ಶ್ರೌಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಡೆಡ್ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನ ಸುತ್ತಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. But these people could not enter her room because thousands of sparrows had gathered there. They all have scattered in that room. They have gathered there and there was no chirping. See here the response of the birds for the love of this grandmother. That day they did not chirp at all. So sparrows kuda papa summanaagbittidvu, chilipili illa sparrows indu. So this grandson and his parents felt very sorry for they felt sorry for whom? The sparrows. That's why the mother of this author, she brought some bread and she broke those bread into small pieces and she gave it to the sparrows. But at that day, sparrows did not eat any bread crumb. Okay, ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಚೂರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತಿನ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. The next morning, what happened when the corpse of the grandmother was taken off, ಅವರ ಹೆಣವನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋ ತನಕನೂ ಕೂಡ these sparrows were there. They were not at all chirping. They were very sad. They did not eat a single bread crumb. Then the next day, the sweeper came and he swept what children? The breadcrumbs which was given to the sparrows. Okay, in this way, grandmother, she spent an ideal life. She was never, okay, a burden for her son and daughter-in-law. She loved her children as well as grandchildren very much. She led a very ideal life and she set an example for everybody. So serenity, so peaceful. She never complained anybody. ನಂಗೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಆ ನೋವು ಈ ನೋವು, ಯಾವುದೇ ದುಃಖವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರಲಿ, ಭಗವಂತನ ದಯೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಉಂಟು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೇವ್ರು ತನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ತಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ, ಸಾಯೋದು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಜೊತೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೀ, ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಜೊತೆ ಮತ್ತಾರು ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫಿಗೆ ನಾನೇ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಲೇಡಿ, ಏನೋ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಸೋ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ದಟ್ she spent her life in a very meaningful way and she set an example for her son, daughter-in-law as well as her grandson. Okay children, so here we are completing the lesson. Did you understand? Raise your hands and tell me. Children, did you understand? Now I will give you 2 minutes time. You have to think. Okay, I will give you 10 marks. You have to think how many marks you are going to give for this lesson. Whether you liked this lesson or not. If you liked, how many marks you will give for this lesson, that you have to tell me. Okay, think for 1 minute. Thought of giving marks, no? Who gives marks first? Raise your hand and tell me. Who will